Field safety, anything goes, right? Some checklist for you. Registration sign to show where they're supposed to go. You have a first aid sign. Is water available to all visitors? They don't have to pay for it, it's available. Is the waiver available for all to sign with extra pens? Oh my God, extra Bic pens. They're like 22 cents each or something. They're gonna steal them, the cheapest pen around, and they'll steal that pen. So have a bunch of them. Safety speech provided to all participants each and every time, no matter what. I don't care if he's been there 12 times. Video is always better because it's going to be the same every single time. Your safety speech, if you don't have a video, should be written, and he should read it every time, not ad-lib, because too many people skip right through it. So if it's the same every time, and you're defending yourself in a lawsuit because somebody didn't understand the safety rules, that's usually what they say. You didn't explain that to me. And you present in your defense, here's a safety speech, we read it to everybody. Here's the video, everybody has to see this before they go onto the field. It's a requirement, and it's the same every day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. It doesn't change. Because what's going to happen is like the waiver, they're not going to read it. Your safety rules are so important that you guys have it verbally read to them, whether it's in a video or by the presenter itself, the ref or whoever's doing it. It's so important that they can see you and hear it and ask questions, and make sure that at the end you say, are there any questions? Did you guys understand everything? Great. Yeah, the checkbox things, you might have some holes in that. Make sure it's written or on video, that safety speech. Do you check all the equipment prior to renting or playing? Especially the players that bring their own stuff. You checking their goggles? You making sure they're not old Vince goggles that the guy pulled out that he played with 20 years ago? We saw some of those at D-Day last year. It's like, where the hell did you get those? The lenses were cracked right in the center. We had some old JT glasses, goggles, where the lenses are cracked in the center. Ref never noticed it. They don't ever check. Need to make sure they check. How often do you change your lenses? Do you use anti-fog lenses? Do you have it documented when you change the lenses? Are they serialized so that you keep some type of record of it? How often do you change the headbands? Some of the headbands have been on for 7 or 8 years. There's no elasticity left. All right, do you have the correct paintball safety netting installed where needed? What height is needed? Where is it needed? How often do you test it? What is the test that you use? Is your chronograph area netted in, or are they just shooting off anywhere? Are trip and fall hazards removed, or are they marked? Do you have safety tape around any type of roots that are sticking up? Rocks. All right, so when we go, what do we look for? We look for the netting height. Last time it was tested, who manufactured it? The field direction of play. So we walk out, we want to see a diagram. When you're applying for insurance, we want to see what the diagram looks like for a field of play. The use of the terrain, ravines, waters, trees. If you're using a ravine, you have it marked off. Do you have the entrance? Do you let them know in the safety speech they can't jump across the ravine? Bunker design, nails, screws, metal glass out on the field. Trails to the bunkers cleared, or do they have to run over logs, branches, fallen trees? How about your signage? Do you have the correct signage up? Do you use a scale? Do you have a backup scale? Are your tanks strapped? Are the covers on the valves while they're sitting there? How about your safety speech? Let's see it. Do you have a first aid kit? Where is it? Yes, sir.
Quick question. Is there a height restriction on?
No height restriction at all on obstacles. Okay. Why?
I just want to clarify.
Platforms are a little different because depending on how you have it designed, if it's over 4 feet, you need to have full railing and steps going up with the steps protected so that you don't get paint on it, they're not slippery. If you played paintball, folks, you know when somebody shoots at you, all of a sudden you become bionic and you can fly. You'll jump off of any platform you're on or any set of stairs because it hurts like hell when the paintball hits you. So you want to get the heck out of there real quick. So the best thing to do is protect the stairs with siding, put plywood on the side so they can get up and down without having an issue. Have stairs with rails, have them built to code. You don't have to have them inspected, but they have to be 7-inch rise. You can't make 10-inch tall stairs. Okay? Good question. If you have a castle, we want to see ramps or stairs, no ladders. You don't want to have anybody going up a ladder, folks. If you go up a ladder and somebody's up underneath shooting, they're going to shoot up underneath the mask. Also, if you have a paintball gun, how are you going up the ladder? One-handed? It's a little rough. All right, trashy field. Here's a field that we insured. We showed up, and he had all kinds of neat stuff out here. It looks like he had some spools, normal stuff, but he had like this pieces of metal laying everywhere. These boards that you see laying on the ground right here had nails in them, sticking up. This piece of crap that he had over here, I don't know what it was. He had an old military vehicle here, but he has an airplane over here with shrapnel hanging off of it with sharp edges. It's like, he said, well, the airsoft guys like this. So you see the helicopter there, he had, this is all pieces of metal that have been ripped off. And this sharp edges on the back side of this where they run up against, and they slide up against it, and somebody got cut. No kidding. Do not leave ladders around. Your employees will find ways of getting up into places they're not supposed to be. They didn't get done building steps here, and so they laid a ladder there, and some employees and players were up inside this little building when I showed up. How'd you guys get up there? Ladder? Really? As you can tell, it's not fixed ladder. They just leaned it up against to be able to get up there. And the owner had no idea that people were up in there, his little building. No shooting in staging area. I know this is hard to control, but if you do not be anal on your safety, folks, you're going to have claims. You can see that trash can's been lit up by their tournament players that play at that field. They did that while I was there. And the spool too, and the chairs. It's like, really? Staging area, you must control it. You must have employees out there patrolling, making sure people do not act stupid. Are you trying to control it from the registration area where you're doing 16 other things, the airfills, taking their money and everything else? You can't control the staging area, folks, by being inside a trailer. You can keep an eye on it, but you need to have your refs working there. Safe seating areas. This is actually a real bench. Entrance to the playing area, you want that controlled. You want them all funneled into one space where they got to walk through a gateway. Then you can control, you can look at one spot and say, all right, got goggles on, goggles on, goggles on, goggles on, as they're walking through there. And he does have a goggles on sign right there on the right-hand side. If your bunkers are using branches, make sure they don't stick out like a punji stick and stick them when they slide into the bunker. This is old school field. I don't know. Ryan's back there smiling. Yeah, this is Three Rivers Live. This was actually a field in San Diego. Roots, make sure your roots are out of play. This was our field in Texas. We took the caution tape and cautioned off the area because of course everybody ran right through there and tripped and their goggles came off. So we fixed that. Caution tape is a great way to direct traffic. It's cheap and you can see it. Those are bad bridges and a real bad one on the very bottom. Bridges are amazing what we see at paintball fields, folks. Amazing some of the stuff that we see. Build it right. Control your rental gear. Make sure you have everything in racks. The only thing wrong with that fantastic design is there's no barrel blocking devices on any of his guns. He was so proud to show me this too.